Kathleen Kennedy might actually be trying to destroy Warhammer already. Yes, it's Warhammer. And yes, it's really important. Everybody's all mad about some crazy stuff that Mackie said. You guys don't know the real shit. You don't know what's really important, okay? And that has to do with Kathleen Kennedy trying to ruin Warhammer already. So what am I talking about here? Well, it just came out yesterday from My Time to Shine Hello, and I'm so mad. It just came out yesterday that Henry Cavill himself is in discussions with Lucasfilm about doing a role in Star Wars. What the hell? Oh my God, I absolutely hate it. Hey, first question I want to ask the chat. Do you think this is a W or an L? Do you like this? Do you hate this? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to get a sense of how you guys actually feel about this. But I have to explain why I hate it, okay? So, you know, I'm not even going to try to dance around it. It all has to do with Warhammer. So, to me, the idea of Cavill, I mean, he's got a couple of big projects on his plate right now. I think he's doing a Highlander thing. I think he just got done doing some big thing with Guy Ritchie. That's outside of The Gentleman. I think it's something else. So, you know, Cavill's got some things going on. Star Wars, though. Star Wars. I mean, you know what's going on with Star Wars. It's dead. That's what's going on with Star Wars. It's fucking dead, okay? So we talk about Star Wars. We talk about some of the Star Wars news. You know, Sean Levy's doing Rey movies. Rogue Squadron might be back on. The main villain of the Mando Grogu movie is like Jabba's son and some weird bounty hunter guy from Dave's animated shit that wears a big old hat so he can't fit through doors. You know, the Star Wars news is kind of sad. It's kind of pathetic. It's kind of whack. Ryan Gosling in Star Wars, like, what? Okay, I guess. Henry Cavill, what are you thinking, my brother? What are you thinking? On the one hand, I don't like it because I think it's legitimately bad for Cavill. I think Star Wars is not doing great. And I think we're at a point in Star Wars where a lot of people are turning shit down. Like, I'm just going to be real. We haven't heard too many of these stories, but I have. I think Star Wars is going after a lot of people. And I think a lot of people are like, no fucking thank you. So, number one, I'm like, Cavill, don't do it, man. That's going to be bad for your brand. It's going to be bad for your stock. Whether they're going to put you in a movie where Rey is scolding you for 2.5 hours. No, my brother, don't do it. So the first thing is I just think it's a bad idea. But the second reason, the big deal here is like, you're supposed to be building the next big thing, my guy. Warhammer. Hey, Henry, do you not know that I'm starting a whole new podcast and putting a bunch of my personal energy into figuring out how to make content for the next several years leading up to the Warhammer Cinematic Universe? Henry, don't you know that Warhammer is the next big thing? I know it. Don't you know it, Henry? Oh my God, my brother in Christ. You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. You can't. This would be like training, doing training camp and saying you're going to rebuild the Boston Red Sox and like, oh, dude, shit's going to be so awesome for Boston in the next couple of years. Can't wait. And then all of a sudden you sign a deal with the Yankees. Like, what are you thinking, my brother? You can't do this. Number one, you don't have enough time. I'm sorry. You know, yes, it's probably possible that this movie would never happen and get pushed to 16 years from now and have 30 different directors. Sure, maybe. But also, let's say somehow Kathy figures out how to greenlight movies that actually happen. Then you're wrapped up in a whole fucking Star Wars movie, and they're not going to have you do a small role, man. They're not going to have you do a small role. They're going to have you do a big role, and they're going to take all of your time. They're going to take all of your time and all of your energy, and you're supposed to be building the Warhammer thing, my guy. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. This story is driving me insane. Like, I know we still have a bunch of Star Wars fans in here, and I know a lot of you are like, there's still hope for Star Wars. You're fucking wrong. It's over, okay? I don't know how else to say it. It's over. It's cooked. It's burned. There's no hope. Zero hope. Rebellions were built on hope. Fine. Star Wars, not. No. Wrong. Over. Done. Get the fuck out of here. So I don't want Cavill to be doing Star Wars, and I can only surmise that Kathleen Kennedy, with her weird Sith-like powers, has realized that the greatest competitor and the thing that'll finally put the flailing franchise that she took over into the ground is Warhammer. And so somehow I can't help it. This feels like some sick Steve chess bullshit move to get Cavill to be preoccupied, to put him in Star Wars, to have him hold a lightsaber. And no, it's an absolutely terrible thing. I hope it's not real. And I can't believe that this would happen, man. I can't believe that this would happen. Henry, don't do it. Hopefully, this is just Shine being goddamn ridiculous. Because I really don't think this is a good idea. I don't think this makes any sense. There's so much to do with Warhammer. And on the one hand, I mean, I guess if I was to try to, steel man this or think of the most positive outcome, it is technically possible that this could happen as they are building the Warhammer thing. And then if it's somewhat successful and you have Cavill on a big promotional tour for Star Wars in a movie, he could technically use that platform and all of the attention to drive people to Warhammer, which would be absolutely epic. So if this happens to be some crazy 6D move from Henry, and maybe Henry's like, yo, I can get all these Star Wars fans and all the anti-Star Wars fans who will watch all the promotional material, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe the real plan is to use that platform to convert more people to Warhammer. And if that's what it is, it gets my seal of approval, and I think it's a good move. But otherwise, I think this shit is terrible. Don't do it, Henry. Please, God, don't do it. Don't do it. What do I have to do to make sure that you don't do it? For the love of all things, Henry, don't do it. Okay. So, nice little segment there on Henry Cavill and Warhammer and whatnot. Guys, let me know. Let me know what you think about that. But we're going to get right in to the next topic here. And the next topic, I know this is a channel where we talk about like Marvel and Star Wars and Warhammer, mostly Warhammer. But we're going to have to pivot into talking about Bluey. Okay?